Welcome. Thank you for your presence. To move from adversity to thriving, survive to thrive, so to speak, we want to be in a parasympathetic state. The easiest way to access that I'm aware of is to lengthen the exhalation. So the two-word strategy I'm going to weave into our practice today that I'm grateful you're joining me for is exhalation, subjugation. Lengthen the exhalation to enter a parasympathetic state and subjugate the breath out to upregulate oxygen. This can be woven into any Qigong, yoga, or fitness or life strategy. So let's play with it and see how you feel. Crane neck, very fundamental Qigong move. You're going to arch your spine a little bit with a long exhalation. Inhale, belly expands. Long exhalation. Relaxing any tension to the pull of gravity. Inhaling fresh energy up from the earth as the belly expands. Loosening up that spine. Easy, right? And after 3, 6, or 9, long exhale. Now hold the breath out and pulse the belly in and out on an empty stomach. This is called embryonic breathing. It's going to wake up the digestion, assimilation, give a nice massage to our internal organs. Again, deep breath, long exhalation, and then subjugation. And either just hold the breath out or add a little embryonic called Naoli in traditional yoga to wake up the core vitality and energy. Boom. Exhalation, subjugation. Okay, now another way we can do this, acutapping, invaluable. We're going to tap with our fists, palms, or fingertips, if you want more yin, feather touch style. And we're going to do the 6 healing sounds with long exhalations. Inhale, white light of courage, golden white light of courage into the lungs, the strength of the metal element. Long S sound, releasing any sadness to the pull of gravity. Now hold the breath out for a comfortable pause. If you can subjugate in the midst of movement, you're going to really supercharge your oxygen exchange capacity. Tap the kidneys gently. And inhale blue light of calmness. Release any fear, shame, doubt, and trauma with a chew sound. Longest exhalation you can make comfortably. Hold the breath out for a comfortable pause. Tapping the liver underneath the right breast. Inhaling green light of kindness. Relaxing any anger or stress with a long SH sound. Subjugate the breath out for a comfortable pause, upregulating oxygen. We gently tap the heart, inhale red light of joy. Release excess heat of aversion with a ha sound. Subjugate the breath out for a comfortable pause, upregulating our oxygen, getting comfortable with air hunger, as it's called in the Butenkyo system. And then tapping the spleen underneath the left breast, inhaling yellow light of trust. Releasing worry with a guttural whoo. Hold the breath out for a comfortable pause. And then tap your whole torso. Inhale clear light from the center of the earth into the center of your belly, heart, and head. Release any tense thoughts, emotions, or physical tension to the pull of gravity with a he sound. And subjugate the breath out for a comfortable pause. A little acutapping for detoxification and energy activation. So you can also just rub to communicate love to the cells, easy breezy. Okay, so now, if you have some sort of an acupressure tool, these are double rattan sticks, taped and paracorded together. You could use your fingers, you could use an empty water bottle. We're going to do some acupressure to the core. The Qi Nei Tsang, internal organ energy massage, combined with Dantian Qigong is amazing stuff. The Qi Nei Tsang system, as far as I know, predates acupuncture. It was my introduction to the Tao. Really powerful way to wake up digestion. So much of our immunity is in the gut. Most of our serotonin is produced in the gut. Okay, so let's square up our horse stance. Again, if you only have fingers, great. Qi knife, water bottle, anything. Cane, baseball bat. I'm going to use this. It is my favorite tool for this task. Tailbone tucked, ears over the shoulders, and chest slightly sunk. See how my back gets a little straighter there? It's going to keep the heart aligned with the earth and any excess heat out of the chest. We're going to be very gentle with this. It's powerful stuff. Tailbone tuck, ears over the shoulders, chest slightly sunk, ankles, knees, and hips gently spiraled out, and you drill your energy into the earth through the most grounded points in the body, bubbling springs, kidney acupoint 1. And now, on our core, we feel on our core 5 key acupoints. We feel Ren 4, 3 inches below the navel, 4 fingers breadth at the knuckles, and we put our stick right there, and you press in just enough to feel the pulse. We feel a pulsation of blue light, and we connect with the cold, wet quality of the water element and its psychic quality of calmness and gentleness. And we feel this piezoelectric waking up energy from pressure and heat, this gentle acupressure, totally relaxed. We're just chilling, wu wei, effortless action. We're in a stance, getting energy from the structure. Instead of losing it from poor posture, I'm pushing just enough to feel the pulse, because wherever you activate and amplify the pulse, it amplifies the energy. And I feel the blue light pulsing in my kidneys, in my bladder, strengthening the water element in my body. Once I connect with that quality of the water element, cold, wet on a physical level, calmness psychically, inhale that blue light right on the threshold of pressure and into your kidneys. Long kidney sound, chew, and hold the breath out. Hold the breath out, feel that pulsation, concentrate that blue light into your kidneys and core. Totally relaxed here. Now we go up to the solar plexus, Ren 12, roughly halfway between the navel and the bottom of the sternum. Again, relaxed, and be gentle here. Fire element in the heart that houses it is volatile. And I press in just enough to feel the pulse. This is amazing for digestion. Ren 12 is a huge point for strengthening the stomach and the digestion and the assimilation. And I feel the pressure as a pulsation of red light, and I feel the hot, dry quality of the fire element physically and the psychic equivalent of joy, like a gentle flickering flame. And now I inhale that red light into my heart and the associated organ of the small intestine. Long ha sound. Hold the breath out for a comfortable pause. And as we amplify the pulse, what does the pulse feel like? Because Qi follows focus. We're strengthening the heart and all of its systems. The circulation of blood. Blood is the material basis of the mind. Blood is consciousness, consciousness is blood. Now we're 2 inches right and left of the navel, stomach 25, collection points and fusion of the 5 elements for the liver on the right, lung on the left. So now, I press the stick, effortless stance. You can do this sitting if you need to, laying, fine. But I like to get that core power from the horse stance, and we won't stand for too long in this practice. I press just enough to feel the pulse, and I feel the pulsation as green light. And we connect with the warm, moist quality of the wood element physically, and psychically with the virtue of kindness. The only real currency is virtue. And we inhale green light of kindness right into the threshold of the pressure of the stick or your hands, and then a long SH sound. Hold the breath out, Feel the pulsation of green light activating your liver. Detoxification physically, emotionally, roughly 500 functions. The liver does a lot. Thank you, liver. This chi is for you. This presence is for you. 2 inches left of the navel. We're almost done. Left stomach 25, collection point for the lung. Press just enough to feel a pulsation, and we feel white light of the metal element pulsating with its physical quality of cool, dry. And psychically, we feel courage, the strength of metal. And we inhale white light right on the threshold of the pressure and into our lungs, an associated organ of the large intestine. Long S sound. Then hold the breath out, comfortable pause. And you feel the lungs being strengthened. Respiratory system, a lot of detoxification, the exchange of chi. Lungs govern the reception of chi. And relax. And now, we started 3 inches below the navel, Ren 4 for kidneys. Now we're 1.5 inches, 2 fingers, breath at the knuckles, below the navel, Ren 6. This is our collection point for Earth. And if I did one only, it would be Earth, because Earth holds all elements. And so now I'm pressing in, effortless stance, always checking in, tailbone tuck, ears over the shoulders, chest slightly sunk. I press in just enough to feel a pulse of yellow light and connect with the neutral, stable quality of the earth element. Its temperature is perfectly balanced, not hot, not cold, perfectly temperate, and on a formless consciousness level, we feel trust, we feel stable, we feel grounded. And now, inhale yellow light of trust into the spleen and the stomach, and right on the threshold of the pressure of the stick or your fingers, long guttural hu. And hold the breath out for a comfortable pause, feeling the pulsation of yellow light. Color isn't just a measurement of the life force, it is the life force. Angel, angle of light. We feel that frequency of the life force, golden yellow light, condensing in our core, strengthening the earth element. And then relax. Okay, nice little effortless chinate song, kind of fusion of 5 elements flow. And now, you can do this for each of the points that I just showed you. But again, if I did one only, I would do earth, because roughly half of the body is muscle, governed by the earth element. When in doubt, tonify earth. So I square up my stance again, tailbone tuck, ears over the shoulders, chest slightly sunk, knees spiraled over the ankles, my roots drilled into the earth through bubbling springs. I press in just enough to feel a pulse. I feel golden yellow light. Big deep breath. Long guttural. Feel the pulsation. And now we do the Dantian Qigong compression. So gently engage your perineum and your anus, sealing your pelvic floor. And you're going to press down very gently. This is why we sink the chest. No pressure or heat in the chest on this. This is really powerful chi packing, but empty force with the breath held out. So it's much more grounded and won't risk chi damage or Kundalini syndrome, as it's called in traditional yoga. It's simple. Chi muscles pulled up, perineum and anus, sealing the pelvic floor. Very gently, the diaphragm is pressed down, and that's condensing the chi in the core. Okay? So now we do dragon and tiger breathing. Dragon is similar to Ujjayi in traditional yoga, where you do the throat breathing, feeling suction in your throat and your navel as you breathe yellow light into the core. And now tiger breath, a hum, as you press down on that diaphragm, drive the chi in your core. Hum. And I hold the breath out with a comfortable pause. And now I'm pressing in. I'm pressing in really firmly. Good stance. Holding the breath out for as long as I can comfortably, upregulating oxygen, but with this core power. So you're getting effortless, holding the breath out, maximum yin in the cycle of the breathing. And inhale, belly expands, golden yellow light up from the center of the earth to the center of the dantian. That dragon breath suction, throat and navel, and then a tiger hum. You press down gently with the diaphragm. Hum. And I hold the breath out for a comfortable pause. Anus perineum pulled up. Diaphragm gently pressed down, and I drive that golden yellow light into my core. I see it in my mind's eye, penetrating my spleen, my stomach, all my muscles, and all the fields governed by the earth element. One more time. Golden yellow light in the core and condense it in with a tiger. And hold the breath out for a comfortable pause. And I'm using really firm pressure here to a comfortable level. And that piezoelectric acupressure combined with the chi compression, combined with holding the breath out, upregulating oxygen, is incredibly powerful, but it's grounded. I'm still holding my breath out. Breathe as you need to, but I'm in the range of about 2 minutes, which is nothing. The Navy SEALs can do 4 minutes and beyond. I think the record is currently 12 minutes. And then relax your body and breath, okay? Whoa, that's one of my favorite. I think when the fitness and Qigong and yoga world get a hold of this empty force compression, it's gonna be a hit, okay? Now, one last thing with this that I wanna show you. If I did one exercise only with this, I like to finish with this to bring it back to parasympathetic centering, and then we're gonna sit down. Thanks for joining me. If you're using your fingers, you just use your fingers. Long exhalation, press on your core, hold the breath out. My low back just aligned there, amazing. It's like when I learned abdominal massage in Thailand. You got low back problems, work on the core. But this really is nice. You're gonna put the stick, or your bat, or a cane, or your fingers, whatever you got. Big deep breath. Long exhale, hold the breath out. And you go into kind of a modified turtle here. Back flat as best you can, and now the stick is pressing into my core. And then I just kind of undulate. I do that. Belly in and out with the breath held out. It's a lot to describe when I'm holding the breath out. Again, long exhale, hold the breath out. And pulse the belly in and out. I cannot tell you how good that feels. It's just aligning the center, up-regulating metabolism. Magic, okay? So thank you for joining me for that. And now, if you would please, let's have a seat. Thanks for getting down with me as we move from adversity into thriving, transforming stress into vitality. Good diagnostics are key. Knowing is half the battle. And everything in the known universe is spinning, including our energy. So a very simple diagnostic method that we can use on ourselves and others is with a pendulum. Now, I have to admit, when I was first exposed to this at the start of my yogic journey, way back in the day, reading books like Hands of Light by Barbara Ann Brennan and other such publications, I was a little skeptical. But in the past few years, I've had the blessing of training with Dr. Jeremy Steiner, who's really changing the field of acupuncture with his EAI, Electronic Acupuncture Institute method. He's a doctor of Chinese medicine, but also PhD and MD. And he studied with Dr. Jerry Tennant, who's another MD out of Texas, who is a Western doctor, but then was self-taught in Chinese medicine. And he uses a system of pendulum diagnosis that he covers in some of his books that I find to be invaluable. It's this simple. If the pendulum spins to the left, we have reverse polarity. And if it spins to the right, we have correct polarity. In the dance of the acid-alkaline pH, if we're in an acidic state, especially long-term, it can lead to the C word, which is actually owned, so I won't use it, just like the word cure is owned, but prostate C word, breast C word. If we're in a long-term acidic state, which in this context would be reverse polarity, it can lead to those conditions. Whereas if we're in correct polarity, which would be the pendulum spinning to the right, we have health. We have enough chi to function optimally and thrive, okay? So we are going to utilize a pendulum. You can use anything, a ring and a string. sewing thread, dental floss wrapped around a ring or a stone or a key. Those I find a little more bulky. I think a ring and a string is perfect. I am using orgonite pendulum, and we're going to hold them over key acupoints, which physically speaking are very close to the organs we're trying to diagnose. And we always want to rule out earth and fire channels, because the earth element, which is governed by the spleen and stomach, governs the muscles, and roughly half of our body is muscle, the mesoderm layer. So all of our organs have an aspect of mesoderm. All of our endocrine systems, the majority of our genitourinary system is mesoderm. Anything that contracts is mesoderm. So even when I was in clinic as an acupuncture student, they said, when in doubt, tonify earth. But now with that Western understanding of muscle being roughly half of the body, that gives me a much better insight into why that was said. So if I did one point only, I would do the solar plexus for the earth element. And we all know, okay, you're having digestive stuff. Check to see if your earth is in reverse polarity. You're having respiratory issues. Check your lungs, large intestine for the metal element. You're having heart issues, right? Kidney, water element, frequent urination, you name it. So you could back up what you suspect. Or emotionally, when we did the 6 healing sounds, you're having fear. Maybe your kidneys have reverse polarity, anger, liver, impatience, heart, right? So we're gonna do our earth element, and then also fire channels, because the parasympathetic, sympathetic undulation of our nervous system is, most people are in sympathetic lockup, frankly, and they really just don't even know it. And so the triple energizer governs our sympathetic nervous system, and the pericardium, our parasympathetic. Now, when I'm doing this on another person, I can do every organ front and back. You just have them sit up, you hold the pendulum in front, you diagnose the organs in front and then in back. But when I'm doing it on myself, I can either do it in front, like I'm going to demonstrate today, or laying down and I hold it over myself. And you can just do the front and in essence get the sense of the whole element. So for example, I'm going to do my solar plexus. Yes, that's the stomach, and then the spleen is in back. Well, I can't reach back there. So I get an overall sense of the quality of the polarity of my elements just by doing the front, okay? And then we're going to do the mid-eye for the state of our autonomic nervous system. So sometimes I have a really big day and I check and whoa, it's reverse polarity. And then you go and you do your practice. You do some Qigong. You go for a walk. You do your breathing, your mantra, your meditation, you name it. You pet your dog. You calm down, you listen to music, and you check again and you see what's working or not. Go get an acupuncture session, okay? That kind of thing. So here's my pendulum, orgonite. And you want to sensitize this, real simple. It's an extension of our nervous system. That's the intention, which governs law, local and cosmic. Literally takes a second. I just feel the pendulum. I feel my energy imbued in the pendulum, and boom, it literally takes that long. It's just boom, and done. Then you take your dominant hand with your elbow close to your body, and then you take your other hand and you hold the wrist so it's stable. So if someone's really blocked in their mind, oh, this is hocus pocus, whatever, it might not work. I've seen this on some people that are just totally skeptical, it won't work. And then I'll go and I'll wait till they're asleep, like in the case of my family that I visit or whatever, and I'll do it and then it will work, okay? So try to have, just beginner's mind, see what the chi field says, because everything in the known universe is spinning. They call it angular momentum in physics. Why would our energy be any different? So we're just tuning in with our energy. Okay, here we go. We sensitize our pendulum. Got it. I feel the pendulum is an extension of my nervous system. I put my dominant hand with the elbow close to my body and stabilizing, and now I hold it right over my solar plexus and it's spinning to the right. We've been doing some practice. My polarity is already correct. Beautiful. I have correct polarity in my earth element. I should have brought a battery in here. I don't want to be too long-winded. Hold this with but not a 9-volt, the regular battery, AA, AAA, whatever, and you will notice that the plus side spins counterclockwise because that's acidic in essence, chi stealer, and then the negative side spins clockwise because that's the chi giver. okay? The life from the yin aspect of the chi field, the Shakti basically. So not making it up, check it out if you're so guided by inner authority. Earth element, correct polarity. Now for the mid-eye, for my triple energizer. Try to stabilize the pendulum. There we go. Right in front of my mid-eye. And there you go. Notice my hand isn't doing anything. I'm totally stable. And I have a clockwise spin in my mid-eye. So my earth and my fire channels have correct polarity. But let's say they didn't. I go and do my practice and I check again. Okay? Pretty easy. So now, based on which element and organ that houses it is reverse polarity, what I'm going to show you now is a practice you could do to then help correct your polarity.